Hello and welcome back to the Annuity Show. I'm your host today, Betsy Hume, joined by the amazing Elise Roberts. So here's a question I have for you. I think that people know a lot more about something like a 401k or an IRA, probably because they've been around for a while and they're more common. Can you talk to us a little bit about what the differences are between 401ks or IRAs and annuities?
That's a great question because 401ks, IRAs, they're like qualified plans. They're plans you have at work. And that's the type of money, okay, the type of tax code. An annuity can be any tax code. It can be regular money that you've saved up that's not an IRA. The difference from the 401k and the IRA is the difference, same tax code, but the 401k means that it's at a plan at work. 403b, 457. TSP, the tax savings plan from your job if you work for a government. So all the money is in the qualified plan at work. Let's call them 401ks for now. Different tax codes, different letters, but it's all the same. That money it's the same tax code as your IRA. Okay? So the annuity is the house that holds it. If you actually had an IRA, you could move it to an annuity. But you could also have it in a stock. You can also have it in a bond. You can have it other places. So the 401k, you're limited to the choices they give you at your job. Your IRA, you're limited to the choices from the advisor you're working with. And the annuity can hold and house any monies. It's the house that holds the money.
I love that. That's such
like a stock. Just say it like, just be like you put your money in a stock. It can be an IRA in a stock. It can be an IRA and an annuity. So sometimes the simplest information is what people are really looking for.
See, and once again, you explain it in a way that makes it so easy to understand and easy to digest. I feel like these concepts are so complicated and intimidating to the average person, and you just have so much information at your fingertips and stored in your brain, but you're able to deliver it in such a great way.
20 years ago, I said that about annuities.
Yeah.
I said that about annuities. And then they came out with the different types, and it was even more intriguing, but it was almost like
intimidating.
And it made me want to learn because it was hard to understand, so I was determined to figure it all out.
So let me ask you this. Can someone transfer funds if they have an IRA? Can they transfer funds from that IRA into an annuity, or how does that work?
So no matter what money you have, whether it be an IRA, a 401k, any kind of money, you can transfer it, and it's called a tax-free transfer. Because it's going, because you're moving it from your IRA or your 401k at work, if you can move it, to the annuity, and it stays an IRA. A 401k would become an IRA because it's the same tax code. So anything you move into an annuity, it's a transfer, and it stays the type of money that it was. So if you have a Roth or an IRA, whatever type it is, traditional or Roth, and you move it to an annuity, it stays the traditional or the Roth IRA. Because if you don't, it becomes taxable. So there's a process when we do this that it's done from company to company, that you don't just go withdrawing the money to move it over. So there's a process, and it goes directly to a financial institution. There's a lot of tracking, and that's what Uncle Sam sees. Where's that money? It leaves the 401k and you get a 1099. They think, oh my gosh, there's the money. The IRS is following the money. And here, when you put it in the annuity, we send you a 5498, and the money goes, I'm over here. And so the IRS knows that money's still tax deferred. And it's in the annuity, it's also tax sheltered.
So you had mentioned stocks, and I want to know if you have a client who is a little wary of stocks, a little more risk averse, do you think an annuity is a good option for them?
Absolutely. Because most annuities today, other than the variable, and we're going to talk about all these types in a specific chapter of each type, but a variable annuity is a little more risky because your money's still at risk. And in the fixed index and the fixed, you have a bottom, you have a floor. And sometimes it's a floor of a fixed rate, like a CD. And sometimes the floor might be zero, but you have more potential in that option. So there's a lot of options. And anyone risk adverse, this is an excellent choice. Excellent choice.
So good to know. So you were just talking about Uncle Sam. And I want to dive in a little bit more on that because it's so confusing. How does taxation work when you're receiving annuity payments?
That is a great question, and it's one that everyone should know the facts. Now, I'm not a tax professional, so I always refer people back to their tax professional when they start moving monies and doing things and making sure that they're doing things right for them. Mm-hmm. But when the money comes out of an annuity as income, that is ordinary income. And that's different than if it's sitting in a stock and you're getting capital gains. Right. So the capital gains are less. So that's a deterrent for some, and that's a negative. So we want to share everything on this show, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
And it's very important that they understand. So in my opinion, the best money to put in annuities is your qualified money. The money, number one, you're not going to spend until you need it because of the taxes. And this way, it's ordinary income anyway, which is all IRA and qualified money.
Right. So you're not having to stomach that change.
But if someone sells a stock, they are going to have a capital gain, unless it's in an IRA. They're going to have a capital gain, which is a lot less tax.
Yeah, of course.
But then again, they have all the risks. So.
Yes, there's always the trade-off.
There's a trade-off.
Are there annuities that offer more flexibility for people who might have a shifting financial situation?
Very much. And the reason that and I love that there's so many choices, some allow you to take a certain percentage out every year. Some allow you to take more out if you missed a year. So there's a benefit for someone who didn't see something coming. And instead of getting, let's say, 10% out, they needed more. They didn't take any last year. Some allow you to get 20%.
Oh, wow.
The next year. Now, if someone's financial situation changes, sometimes we can try to plan for some unknowns, and sometimes we don't know what might happen. So there's the other reason never to put all your money in annuities.
Yes.
And this is all I do. So I'm the number one to tell you, never put all your money in annuities. Actually, never put all your money in any one place.
In any one, right? Yeah. Don't put your eggs in all one basket. Yep, I think all those old sayings are old sayings for a reason. They're tried and true. So annuities, again, I know I keep saying it, but it just keeps blowing my mind. Annuities are not just one. To say you don't like annuities is like saying, I don't like apples. There are so many different kinds of apples, so many different flavors, so many different textures. You just have to find the one that you like.
Do you know what I always say?
What?
When someone says, I don't like annuities, I said, well, do you have a pension? And if they say yes, I say, do you like your pension? It's an annuity. And do you like your Social Security? It's an annuity. Yeah. It's a payment for life. So to say you don't like them until you learn about them, especially today, it's really not fair to yourself. You know, just because this is what's been dug into a lot of all of us, because they got a bad name, especially when the stock market started booming in the 80s and the 90s. Think about that.
Yeah.
And then they were in an annuity and they couldn't actually do these new things and they had all this opportunity. So you always want to leave money for the opportunity.
Yes.
You should have every kind of money. You should have money in many different places. And I'm going to be the first to share with you, don't keep all your money in one place.
No eggs in one basket.
There's a reason for everything.
Absolutely. We got to take another quick commercial break. Before we do, I encourage you again to reach out to Elise. You can call her at 888-526-4184. If you give a call today, you'll get a copy of A Journey to Financial Security. So you have something that you can really read through to understand all these complex concepts. You can scan the QR code on your screen. You can visit her website, theannuityshow.com. But whatever you do, make sure you don't go away. We'll be right back on The Annuity Show.